Did Australia just kill the 485 visa? Thousands of international students are panicking, and the future of staying in Australia after graduation is now more uncertain than ever. If you're an international student or planning to come to Australia, this update could change everything for you. Let's break it down piece by piece. Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I create in-depth, real-talk content about living, studying, and migrating to Australia, especially for international students, migrants, and people from underrepresented backgrounds who need the full truth. Today's video is serious. The Australian government just made a major announcement about the 485 temporary graduate visa that's left students shocked, confused, and frustrated. We'll talk about what's changed, what's being phased out, how it affects current and future students, and what you should do right now if you're applying for PR or thinking of staying in Australia after graduation. Segment 1. What is the 485 visa and why was it so important? The 485 temporary graduate visa was a pathway that allowed international students to remain in Australia after completing their studies, gaining work experience, earning income, and working toward permanent residency. There were two major streams. 1. Graduate work stream for those with diplomas and qualifications linked to the skilled occupation list. 2. Post-study work stream for students with higher education degrees, bachelor, master's, PhD, from Australian universities. This visa was a game changer. It gave students a chance to stay in Australia for 2 to 4 years, or up to 6 years with extensions, and gain the crucial Australian work experience many PR visas require. For many, this was the bridge between study and permanent migration. Without it, the gap between graduation and PR would be nearly impossible to cross. Segment 2. What changed in 2024-2025? Government announcements. In late 2024, Australia began reshaping its immigration system to become smarter, smaller, and more targeted, according to the Minister for Home Affairs. Then in early 2025, the government dropped a bombshell. The graduate work stream will be removed. This stream, used mostly by vocational education graduates, like cookery, carpentry, auto mechanic, aged care students, was already under scrutiny for not contributing enough to skilled migration outcomes. But now, it's being scrapped completely. Instead, the government is proposing a new skills-in-demand visa and pushing for student migration to match specific skilled labor shortages. If you don't have a direct pipeline to a high-demand job, you're likely to be cut off. Worse, the post-study work stream is under review too. Some universities may no longer qualify, depending on whether the government deems their graduates as contributing to the economy. This means not all international degrees will guarantee a post-study work visa anymore. Segment 3. International students react real sentiments. The reaction has been overwhelmingly emotional. Social media, especially on TikTok, Facebook groups, Reddit, and even student WhatsApp chats, are filled with messages like, "I feel betrayed. I planned my whole life around the 485. How can they just change the rules after we already paid thousands in tuition? I'm stuck. I've studied for 2 years. Now what?" Many students from Africa, India, Southeast Asia, and South America, who often pursue vocational pathways, feel targeted and excluded by the changes. For some, it's not just about losing the visa. It's about losing the dream of Australia as a fair and inclusive land of opportunity. Segment 4. Who is affected the most? The biggest impact is on vocational graduates. Those doing diplomas in cookery, hairdressing, automotive, aged care, and hospitality. Regional students. Students who went to smaller universities or TAFEs expecting bonus points and regional benefits. Students from low-income countries. Many sold land or took loans just to come and now face uncertainty. Also affected are recent graduates who were planning to apply for their 485 visa in 2025, but now find their plans hanging by a thread. This change also affects pathways to PR, especially via subclass 190 and 491, which often require time on a 485 to build up points and work experience. Segment 5. What can you do now? Solutions and backup plans. Here are some proactive strategies. Apply ASAP if you're eligible. If you've graduated and meet the requirements, submit your 485 now before it's officially removed. Switch to a higher education program. Consider upskilling to a bachelor's or master's degree if you're in vocational training. Explore employer-sponsored visas. Subclass 482. Get a job offer in a skilled field. This could be your best path forward. Skilled migration visas, subclass 190 or 491. Consider state nomination, but remember these require high points and regional experience. Check the new skills in demand visa. This is still unfolding, but might be your next best route. Don't panic, but act fast. Policy changes are still coming, and time is everything. Segment 6. What this means for future students. If you're planning to study in Australia in 2025 or 2026, you need to approach things very differently. Don't choose random courses. Choose ones linked to jobs on the skilled occupation list. Choose universities with post-study work rights, not just cheap colleges. Be ready to adapt. What worked for others in 2020 or 2023 may not work for you in 2025. Budget carefully and plan for uncertainty. Australia is shifting from education for PR to education for skill. Ask yourself, does this course lead to a real job that Australia needs? If the answer is no, think twice before enrolling. Segment 7. What documents might be needed for the 485 visa? Even though the 485 visa is undergoing major changes or may be phased out entirely in the near future, if you're applying now or transitioning into another visa, it's critical to have your documents ready. Here's a detailed breakdown of documents traditionally required for a 485 visa application, and similar visas students may now shift to A. Identity documents, passport, with at least 6 months validity, birth certificate, translated if not in English, national ID, if applicable, B. Education documents, confirmation of enrollment, COE, transcripts, completion letter from your university confirming that you've completed your course in Australia, C. English language proficiency, IELTS, TOEFL, PTE academic, or Cambridge English. Test results must meet minimum scores depending on stream. E. Health and character, medical examination, done through BUPA or an approved panel physician, police clearance certificates from every country you've lived in for 12+ months over the last 10 years, health insurance, overseas student health cover, OSHC, during your studies, overseas visitor health cover, OVHC, for the 485 visa duration. F. Skills assessment, if applicable. Required especially for the graduate work stream or for visas requiring occupation on the skilled list, conducted by assessing authorities like VITASES, AITSL, Engineers Australia, etc. G. Additional forms. Form 80, Personal Particulars for Character Assessment. Form 1221, Additional Personal Particulars. Make sure all documents are certified, translated if needed, and uploaded clearly to your IME account. Even one missing or incorrect document can delay or ruin your application. Call to action. I can help you with your visa application. Feeling overwhelmed by all these changes? You're not alone. The 485 visa situation is confusing, and as policies evolve in Australia, it's easy to make mistakes that can cost you your future here. That's why I'm here to help. If you need assistance with understanding which visa options you now qualify for, choosing between the new pathways replacing the 485, checking if your course or occupation still aligns with Australia's migration goals, gathering the correct documents, avoiding visa refusal or delays, switching from a 485 visa to PR or employer sponsorship. I offer personalized consultation sessions tailored to your situation. No guessing, no generic advice. I'll guide you through every step of the process with up-to-date, honest information. How to reach out. Add me on my other platforms via the link on my bio to be able to DM, or drop your question in the comments below and I'll answer in a future video. Let's get you on the right track towards staying in Australia.